Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a you versus them love reading for Scorpio. We'll explore your energy, the energy of the person on your mind and the dynamic between you, not to fix or chase anyone, but to support your clarity, self-trust, and emotional steadiness. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Scorpios, please. All right, so your person is showing up as the Empress, Taurus and Libran energy. You're showing up as the Magician, Virgo, Gemini energy. And we see the Tower, holy smokes, okay. So something here, something major going on. It could be that this is just something that comes to you as a surprise. This could be some sort of fracture, some sort of separation. And we see the Hermit card, Virgo energy. Now, for some of you, Scorpio, this person may be a secret admirer. The Hermit card can also be somebody here who has ghosted or it has just been quietly analyzing you, this connection, their feelings, their deepest fears. Now they're showing up in an extremely high vibrational energy. The Empress, I mean, she's the best of the best. She's sexy, attractive, abundant. She's calm. She's not going to chase. She attracts. You know, this is somebody very grounded, very stable, but also somebody that wants to build and create with someone if it's in alignment, all right? We see the Ten of Wands in reverse. So this person is ready for something new, ready for a new phase, ready for a new cycle. And it may be that this person really needs to get something off their chest. Now, Scorpio, they're viewing you as the Nine of Cups in reverse. So the Nine of Cups in reverse can sometimes, for me, be an energy of, you know, a fling, or you being emotionally drained and walking away. Now that could be from them or it could be from something else. But this person, I feel, is trying to suss out whether or not you're around for a long time, you're the type of person who's around for a long time, or is it just a good time? All right. Now, Scorpio, it does look like you're looking off in a different direction. The Magician is kind of looking out. So again, I don't know if there's been some sort of breakup, some sort of separation, or is this a secret admirer? But the Magician is a beautiful energy because this is also telling me that you're doing the work. And with this full moon behind you, you're digging deep, just like Scorpio does. You know, you're doing shadow work. You're looking at the lessons that you've learned. You're standing your ground. The Magician is very grounded energy. It's someone who's been able to take lessons or difficult experiences from the past and assimilate them and transmute them into lessons. So I'm also seeing with the Magician card, there's magic around you. You're also in the process of creation, attraction, manifestation, and you have all the tools that you need. I'm also getting this Magician is just as secure as the Empress in what they offer, what they want. And knowing too, like both of these people I'm seeing are quite independent, but know that they don't really need anybody else. But the question is, do I want somebody else? Does this connection, does it add value to my life, or does it dysregulate me? All right, so I kind of feel like, you know, although the Empress and the Magician are not the exact same energy, you're both in that really kind of grounded, secure space. All right, so Scorpio, you are the Sun card in reverse, Leo energy. Okay, so you may be putting on a brave face, not letting anybody here see you sweat. But you may also be mildly disappointed in whether it's in love in general or this particular connection. But I do think that you recognize that this person would, will, or did bring you happiness. But it may be threaded with a touch of disappointment here. All right, so let's see how you're viewing them. The Knight of Wands in reverse, look at that. You both kind of have similar views of each other. And I'm wondering if either one of you are correct. Okay. And I say that lovingly because it's like the nine of cups in reverse is someone who's not emotionally investing or feeling emotionally drained, and it's my fling card, or it's someone who's around for just a short period of time. And you're viewing this person as the Knight of Wands in reverse, which is a very similar energy. Someone who's maybe a bit of a player, somebody who's not fully invested, somebody who's around for a good time, but not a long time. You may feel like this person is easily triggered, or this is somebody who, again, who just doesn't really fully invest, or somebody who rushed in and out of your life. But what's going on between the two of you is some major analysis, some major transformation here, Aries Scorpio energy. All right, and they're viewing the relationship as the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this person knows that this is something different. It's not run of the mill. It's not an ordinary connection. It can't be. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse tells me they may not be putting in a lot of effort, and they're watching and waiting to see where this goes. But they are also looking at the time that you two spent together, whether it was short-lived, whether it's just, it's just been some flirtation, or whether or not you guys have put time and effort into this connection. But this person is watching and waiting, and they're not sure about whether or not there's longevity here. And Scorpio, you're viewing the connection as the Judgment card, Aries Scorpio energy. Now this is showing up in reverse, which is telling me that you're not sure that there are second chances. You're not sure that this can grow. You're not sure that you can trust your judgment quite yet regarding this connection and maybe what's happened or how it feels. For some of you, it may feel too good to be true. For others of you, there's something here that was shocking or surprising, and it felt like the rug was pulled out from under you. So I do feel like, my Scorpios here, you're definitely recalibrating, but it also looks like in their own way, this person is doing the same thing. Now with the Ten of Swords in reverse, this is your energy. You are actively healing, releasing negative attachments. I think you're open to communication. And look, this person's in the Ten of Wands in reverse. You're in the Ten of Swords in reverse. You're both open to something fresh starting here. Okay? But it definitely needs truth and clarity. And it feels like you both have something that you need to say. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about this person for my Scorpios. What else do my Scorpios need to know? We get strong Virgo energy, Taurus, Libra, Aries, Scorpio coming out twice, Virgo, Gemini energy, Leo energy again. All right, let's see. Fourth chakra. So for a lot of my Scorpios, this person's heart chakra is open to loving you, or they do love you already. All right, Archangel Raphael coming through. And we have envy in reverse. Okay, so what I'm getting, this envy card is an interesting one. And the way that I read this card is this person, I don't feel like this person is jealous, right? The Empress usually doesn't toy too much or hang out much in that energy of jealousy. She usually does something about it, or, has made her own life that she doesn't, have FOMO, doesn't experience jealousy. Like she's made her own life abundant and fulfilling enough that, she doesn't really feel that jealousy. But envy in reverse here for me is like this person doesn't want to have regrets. This person doesn't want to, that's the energy I'm getting from this card. Like they don't want to have regrets here. They don't want to be sitting around thinking, oh, Scorpio is the one that got away. Scorpio is the one that, I really wish I had gotten more clarity about how they were feeling or what happened here. So I'm getting like actually a really beautifully mature energy here. All right, and we see the door to romance, yeah. But I think this person fears that this door to romance has been shut. And for some of you, I'm not saying I'm not seeing that this person doesn't have romantic feelings for you, but I do feel like they're in a different energy right now, doing that shadow work, doing analysis. So I don't feel like they're really open to any other possibilities, any other options. But what they're feeling here is deeper than just like lust or, I want to be on a date, I want someone to bring me flowers, or I want to bring someone flowers. It's like there's deeper analysis going on here. And we see cornucopia. So number 11, there's potential for abundance here is what I'm seeing. But I do think it's going to take a little bit of work. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about this person. What else do my Scorpios need to know about this person? What else do my Scorpios need to know about this person? Mature man. Okay, now my readings are not meant to be gender specific, but some of the cards that I use are. Some of you, this person, I mean, again, there could be an age difference here between the two of you. Some of you, this person doesn't feel like they are where they're supposed to be, even though they are showing up as Empress energy. They're really high vibrational. For others of you, this person didn't act above board here, or they didn't act in a mature way. They may have acted impulsively. The Knight of Wands energy in reverse, right? And I feel like they're recalibrating and they're looking at that. I think there's some regret and remorse here. And we see adjudication. And for some of you, yeah, like they may have made some sort of split-second decision, or they may have been extremely reactive, and now they're doubting their decision-making, or they're doubting, you know, the decision that they made to either separate or to, like, you know, move away, or maybe they said or they did something impulsively. And I don't feel like this person is normally like that, but I do kind of feel like this person was feeling a bit triggered, very emotional, reactive. And I feel like they're like, wow, who was that person? Why did I do that? Why did I behave that way? Ooh, I do get accountability and regret with those two cards. All right, let's go ahead and see what my Scorpios, messages, advice, and guidance for my Scorpios, please. High honor in reverse. Okay, some of my Scorpios, you're really considering like whether or not, you know, your worth and your value was being respected, was being honored here. Okay, that's what I'm getting. It doesn't feel like you didn't act above board. I mean, maybe you do have some regrets about the way you handled this situation or something that happened here. But more so, I feel like you feel like this person didn't really honor your strength and who you are, what you were offering, you know, what you were looking for. And we see great fortune, yeah, because you know what you have to offer. You know that you're a prize, Scorpio. You know what you do for this person. You know what you do in love. You know how you behave. But at the bottom of the deck here, we have marriage. So it's like, I don't feel like this connection is completely over. I still see like there's potential here. So again, I don't know if this is a separation, a fight, or an argument, or just something that, you know, has had a hard time getting off the ground. But Spirit is showing me that there's love, there's regret, there's potential for growth and expansion. Okay, Spirit wants you to know that an addiction is affecting this relationship. Now, for some of you, that could be the case. But on this channel, addictions don't always have to be drugs and alcohol. You know, it can be just bad habits, something like patterns that somebody needs to get out from under. All right. And we see boundaries, and firm boundaries are needed now. Firm boundaries are needed now. And I feel like that's on both sides. But I also think I've got two very strong people coming together. You know, you could be dealing with a Taurus, another fixed sign, but regardless of what their sign is or what's in their birth chart, I feel like both people need to set boundaries or need to speak their piece. I think it can happen because Spirit's saying at the bottom of the deck we get true love. This love is emotional, it's physical, and it's unconditional. So, and again, that heart chakra card is no joke. I mean, it does tell me that there's potential for love, or there is real love here. All right, so let's see what might be holding this person back, or what might be blocking this person. Confusion. You don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved. Okay, they might be feeling very confused right now. Maybe the connection was confusingly intense for them. Or they thought they wanted something, and then when, boom, you gave it to them, they were like, freak out, tower moment. And we get fear of touch. You don't trust touch. Take small steps until you feel comfortable with others. So for some of you, that could be the case, all right, with your person. Not for all of you, though. All right, let's see. And again, sometimes this fear of touch card, I don't necessarily take it literally, although that will be the case for some of you. Maybe this person isn't particularly affectionate or something. But to me, this indicates either childhood or previous wounds that kind of run pretty deep here. All right, let's see what they want to say to my Scorpios. What does this person want to say to my Scorpios? You made me realize my flaws. Yep, that's they're in hermit mode. They're doing that reflection. They're doing shadow work. And most likely, Scorpio, like that's because your energy is so deep. You're not afraid to do shadow work. You're not afraid to look at your own flaws. You're not afraid to admit your own faults. And it's had an effect on this person. And it doesn't necessarily mean you admitted your faults or your shadow to them, right? But it's, you know, they're they're picking up on that energy. You know, how could they not, being connected to a Scorpio? And sabotage. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes. Yeah, I do feel that way. I do feel that this person is really struggling with that energy of sabotage. Okay, but at the bottom of the deck, we have hope. I haven't given up on us yet. So they still feel like this can evolve. Okay, and again, whether it's someone you've put a lot of effort into or if it was something that was kind of just trying to get off the ground. So let's see what this person's very next moves are. What are their very next actions towards my Scorpios? Knight of Coins. Coming towards you, slow and steady, grounded after they've been doing this contemplation, this reflection. Now, the Six of Wands in reverse, there may be a bit of confrontation. And the way they come towards you, Scorpio, might not be super direct. Okay, they'll probably send you that, hey, what's up message, which is probably going to annoy the F out of you. Okay, but they are going to start making efforts to come towards you, check in on you. Yeah, Nine of Swords. This person's, they're going through it. They're going through a dark night of the soul. They're anxious. All right, and we see the Seven of Cups, but they're getting clarity. And this difficulty, this tower moment they've been experiencing behind the scenes might be very different than your tower moment. But they're getting clarity, and that clarity is bringing them back to you. Okay, we see King of Cups. I'm not reading this as somebody who's not going to be emotional at all. I'm actually reading this King of Cups energy in reverse as you'll probably see this person more emotional than you ever have or that you ever expected. All right, so let's see. What else do we need to know here? Advice and guidance for my Scorpios. Advice and guidance for my Scorpios. Compassion. You're being asked to be kinder to yourself, to give yourself a break instead of being a taskmaster, a bully, and a horrible friend. Be a loving comforter who always has your back. Okay, so I want to be really clear because I know I can hear some of you misunderstanding that message. Okay, instead of being a taskmaster, a bully, and a horrible friend to yourself. Okay, that's the message. This is not you being that way to other people. You know, but instead of, you know, being hard on yourself, bullying yourself, and not showing up as your, you know, your best friend would, sometimes we do have to reframe things. And it's a powerful thing. If you say something out loud and you're like, would you, if somebody said that to your best friend, would you allow them to say that? How would you feel about that, right? Like that little switch can be really helpful sometimes. So being your own best friend, being a loving comforter who always has your own back, right? Like to not be too hard on yourself, but also to not be too hard on this person. You may need some compassion here because, like I said, this person's coming in quite with an emotional outpouring. And release judgment. Holding on to judgment, whether of yourself or others, only clouds your vision. Release it and see the world and your path with clearer eyes. Yeah, and again, we see that with the judgment in reverse. It's time to release judgment here. You know, forgive yourself and forgive another in order to move forward. Now, I'm not telling you to forgive someone who's really done you dirty or done wrong by you, but ultimately forgiveness frees you and allows you to move forward with or without this person. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, we see patience. You're being asked to practice patience right now. It's not easy to do this, but you're strong, and there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them to in this moment. Have patience. It will eventually work out. All right, my Scorpios, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you love and light. Take care.